And so one parent said, saving isn't a meaningful lesson for kids until they have some goals of their own and can really internalize it. Investing is the same. You can do it and even make them do it, but until they have an interest, they are likely to just go through the motions. It's best to teach these things in context. For example, showing progress on their college fund.
Hmm.
So,
Okay.
share with us your thoughts on that, Alec.
Well, the first thing that I would say is she had me right up until the end. I think there was a lot of good stuff there, and I don't know about the end part, so I'll kind of break that down a little bit. But one of the most important tenets, I think, of the whole sense of responsibility philosophy, and, look, I've been doing this a long time with my kids, of course. They're now in 9th grade and in 7th grade. So I've been doing it with them for a very long time, and I've been a certified financial planning practitioner for a long time. But despite that, I don't have all the answers for everyone. I have a lot of the answers for my own family. The key tenet more than anything else is that people have a strategy, meaning they have to be strategic, and they have to be consistent with it. So if somebody comes along and they find some of our resources and they're like, hey, that's helpful, but I'm not going to do this, I'm going to do that, and they're very consistent with it and they design a good strategy, then that's great. So I think that's the most important thing that I would say. But beyond that, what I would say, she is correct in that saving, investing, that's like anything else. We learn better as humans by doing and having an interest in something, by having your own skin in the game, if you will. I mean, I think a perfect example of that isn't necessarily money. It's Julie, when you taught your kids to ride a bike, let me guess you didn't give them a manual and say, here, read this and I'll see you outside. Is that fair assumption?
No. Like you, there was a lot of sweat and sprinting in Miami summer heat.
What about when they learned
No
to
manual.
swim? I would imagine the same thing.
Nope. We were right there. Yep.
Okay.
Right there with them getting splashed in the face.
Okay. So same thing with this. You're not going to just hand somebody a manual, or you're also, this is where she lost me in terms of, oh, let me just show you the growth in your college funds. Like, no, that's not going to engage anybody of any age at all. It is just not going to engage. In fact, the majority of people who come into my office, whether they be clients, prospective clients, just people who are looking to talk about their money situation, they don't generally have a background in finance because they haven't practiced it, right? So we need to give them a platform. We need to give our kids a platform to practice spending, to practice saving, investing, donating, if we want them to be good at it. So waiting until they can understand what is in a college savings account to then explain, hey, this is what is happening here. No, I definitely disagree with that part of it. Like I said, if this is something where they created a strategy and then that was part of it, maybe I could get behind it, but that's something that I would have an issue with. But I definitely agree that you need to bring people along in a way that they're very engaged and they are part of the process. And that's what the sense of responsibility philosophy does. And that's what parents need to do in general when they're creating a strategy.
Yeah. And, I think you've always said kids should have goals, right? And it should be a specific goal with saving. And that's been something that we've been working on in our house, is really identifying what is that goal that they're saving for. My kids don't always know what it is, right? But they're saving, and then suddenly they'll realize what that thing is. I mean, for Cassidy, her last item was a pair of Nike Blazers. I'm not going to buy those for her. I can't remember how much they were, but well over $100. And she saved for them and she bought that. And John was saving up for an Xbox, which he's recently decided he didn't want to spend that saved money on because he realized it wasn't worth it to him. But going back to that idea of like them having an idea and a goal in their mind and knowing they're saving for something bigger, that is very much putting it in context that they can understand.
Exactly.
And when they want a big ticket item, the spend is one thing. I mean, they want a boba, they want a Starbucks, they want a skirt, a shirt, whatever. And you can say you could spend your spend money on that. But what if it is a bigger ticket item? It's a $350 Xbox. That you have to be able to say, you can also get that. I'm not going to get it for you, but you have to save for it. So I feel like it's really important from the time they're 6 years old to start contextualizing that in their real life of being able to save for those higher ticket items. So
I completely agree.
I'm with you on this.
I would add to that also. I mean, look, finance is very comfortable for me, right? Obviously. And it's new for you. If I said to you, listen, this is how you're going to introduce investing to your child, you're going to show them their college investment fund. I would imagine that's going to be pretty daunting, right? As opposed to
Yeah.
me saying, okay, listen, start when they're with their piggy bank and change, and when they have their investment slot, contribute to that, match their donation, or add an X percent, and so that they understand the value of compounding. That's less intimidating, not just for the child, but it's less intimidating for the parent.
Mhm. Yeah, and with your methodology, they're actually feeling that money compounding. You set it up in a really great way, which I must admit, even I did not understand because I am so new at money. But once I understood how that interest in compounding works to really get them engaged, it just makes so much sense. They feel it, they understand it, they're able to really use that
Yep,
money.
exactly. Agreed.